Live from Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to Truth Talk. And you know what? I'm so happy I'm in Nigeria. I escaped the storm, the blizzards of Toronto, Canada. Our guest today is Dr. Yinka Adedeji. He is a CEO of e-banking for United Bank of Africa, known as UBA. This gentleman, he can recite the encyclopedia from A to Z. That's how brilliant he is. He's an international motivational speaker. He is one of the movers and shakers of the financial industry in Nigeria. Dr. Yinka, welcome to Truth Talks.
Thank you.
From what I can see, you've got a PhD in what? Polymer physics. What is polymer physics?
Polymer physics is physics of plastics.
Ah. So for us laymen, you learned
the strength, the physical performances of high-performing plastics.
Wow. And that also you included engineering in it?
Correct.
In Cleveland, Ohio.
My first degree was in chemical engineering, and I've always liked the engineering aspect of materials. So when I did polymer physics, it was more of the engineering side of it. So use of it in automotives and different high-performing states in aviation and defense.
Right. What motivated you to get into that?
It's a very interesting story.
Okay.
My parents never went to school.
All right.
And so therefore, I have things to look up to.
All right.
Whenever I see anybody that's educated, it becomes very motivational for me to be educated.
Okay.
I like them wearing ties. That's why I always like to wear ties these days.
All right.
And then my mother always encouraged me to actually study. She believed that was the only way out of poverty or wherever we were living, to become part of those people that you admire.
Right, right.
So I started going to school. Luckily, I was very good in class.
Yeah.
And from that brilliance, I think one of my professors identified me to be a good potential that can become a good scientist.
Okay.
That was in college. But the guy was, I never wanted to be anything more than first degree.
Really?
Yeah.
So what made you go on to masters? I see you've got masters in finance.
Yes. Interestingly, he was a scientist in the US. He was research and development director with Union Carbide, which doesn't exist anymore. Right. But the guy, I never wanted to be anything more than first degree, because I believe once you become a PhD, you become too rigid and unsociable. I love my social life.
Okay.
So I never want to give that one up.
Really?
So, but the guy had a combination of both. So I wanted to be like him. So he became my role model. His name was Professor Olagoke Olabisi. But the fact is, after I became PhD holder, I started becoming a lab rat. So I started doing a
nerd.
A nerd. And so, this is against my direction. So anytime we go for business meetings, the commercial guys are the ones that always take the shine.
Right.
But the engineering guys get beaten up all the time. So I said, listen, I'm going to cross over to business.
Yes.
So I said, what do I need to do? After a PhD in polymer physics, I went for my master's in business administration.
Yes.
But I want to be rich at the end of the day. Okay?
Yes.
So for you to be rich, you must understand the language of money. So therefore, I had to go for master's in finance. So at the end of the day, I have 5 degrees from the universities. The fact is, at the end of the day, like I said, the most valuable one today is the engineering background and the understanding of money.
So what are the 5 degrees you had?
Well, I have the first degree in chemical engineering, actually with first class.
Wow.
And I have master's degree in master's and PhD in polymer physics. I did my PhD. Ordinarily, people spend a lot of time. I spent only 1 year.
1 year in PhD.
1 year in my PhD. And then I went back for my master's in business administration and master's in finance.
So all in all, you've got 3 masters and 1 PhD. Like I said, you know the encyclopedia from A to Z. We'll be right back with Dr. Yinka Adedeji.
Thank you.
Let Prophetess Pumela uniquely position you for the mind, body, and soul with this brand new powerful book, The Power of a Prophetic Woman. This powerfully penned book will inspire you to comprehend a woman's role in the prophetic as Pumela lays down a sound understanding of the role of a woman in the amazing but largely misunderstood world of the prophetic. With your best gift today, call and ask for The Power of a Prophetic Woman, and we will rush you a copy. Just pay postage and packaging. And if you call today with any gift of $25 or more, we will include a second book, The Spiritual Warfare Prayer Book. So call now with your best gift today for The Power of a Prophetic Woman, or ask for the Twin Book Package, all when your gift is $25 or more. Call us today.
Live from Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. And we have a wonderful man here who studied the encyclopedia inside out. He knows the Webster Dictionary. He's got 5 degrees, and he said his parents were not educated. Imagine that. I'm not sure how he did that. Dr. Adedeji, how did that happen?
You see, in the years of my parents, going to school in Nigeria was not necessary. They were primarily farmers.
Okay.
However, my father left our hometown, Ijebu, to Ibadan, where he was a driver.
Okay.
So the only thing my mother knew to keep us engaged is to send us to school.
Right.
So going to school kept me busy, and however, I found it very interesting. Mm. But I wasn't the most brilliant child in primary school.
Are you kidding me? 5 degrees?
I wasn't.
How is that possible?
I only happened to discover myself in the last year of my high school.
Really?
That, oh, this thing is not as difficult as you think. I mean, the English composition, all this stuff, math became very easy.
Wow.
So I started to find comfort in being the smartest guy in the class.
A bookworm.
A bookworm.
Okay.
But at the same time, I realized I enjoy social life. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I therefore have 2 sets of friends.
Okay.
One set for social life, one set for academics.
Nerds.
Yeah, not the friends. But I used to always admire people that wear ties in my neighborhood. Mm. And how do you get to wear ties if you don't get a corporate job? And why do you get a corporate job without a degree and all that stuff?
Right. So
I started being very studious. But in my college, I had the professor, like I mentioned, Professor Laguke Alabisi, who was my mentor. I started to admire people from a distance and choose them as my mentor. They won't know. Right. But he was, I never wanted to go beyond 1st degree. But the reason why I don't want to go beyond 1st degree, because I'll become too serious. Okay. You want it to be fun. But I love social life. Remember I said I have 2 sets of friends. Yes. Social friends and academic friends. So I love to be very sociable. Yes. And this professor was brilliant and sociable. I said, okay, so there's a chance for me to be sociable and combined with academics. Intelligent, yes. So I got a chance through the guy to get scholarship to go to study master's and PhD. And you went to Harvard? Yes. You went to Harvard as well? Yes. But the first time I went to school was to Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio. Yes, in Cleveland. To do my master's and PhD. Okay. I had fun. I think it was easier than I thought. All right. But everything else is fun. Okay. But America took football away from me. I stopped watching football. I started watching basketball and football, the American football. Right, of course, of course. Yes. But then you are tall, so you would have been great in playing in basketball. Yes. Oh, wow. So, and then now you decided to come back to Nigeria. Correct. Why? It's actually, if anybody ever told me I would come back to Nigeria, I would have doubted it. But I lost my father. I lost him in November 2004. Sorry to hear. Yeah. So with that, I was dating a wonderful woman. Okay. Beth, she's actually American from Connecticut. Windsor, nice. Connecticut. Love story. And she said, if you don't go home now, when you lose your father, trust me, you will never go home when you lose your mother. So I was like, oh, this is a perfect time for me to explore going home. And I've been back home. Excuse me. I'm very glad that I came back.
Yes.
It's been a great experience coming back.
We'll be right back with Dr. Yinka and his love life.
Let Prophetess Pumela uniquely position you for the mind, body, and soul with this brand new powerful book, The Power of a Prophetic Woman. This powerfully penned book will inspire you to comprehend a woman's role in the prophetic as Pumela lays down a sound understanding of the role of a woman in the amazing but largely misunderstood world of the prophetic. With your best gift today, call and ask for The Power of a Prophetic Woman, and we will rush you a copy. Just pay postage and packaging. And if you call today with any gift of $25 or more, we will include a second book, the Spiritual Warfare Prayer Book. So call now with your best gift today for The Power of a Prophetic Woman, or ask for the twin book package, all when your gift is $25 or more. Call us today.
Welcome back to Truth Talk Live, Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. We're still talking with Dr. Yinka Adedeji. I mean, being in the States for 10 years. That's a lifetime.
16 years.
Wow. Yeah,
School and
right.
General
That's
Electric.
almost 2 decades.
Yes.
The infrastructure there is different from, of course, in Africa, Nigeria to be specific. How did you adjust?
It was tough.
With a wife, American
wife.
wife.
American wife. It was tough, but
Yeah.
what first shocked me was in the US, you can think you're great because you're a specialist.
Right.
Somebody hands over a duty to you, your specialization is this.
Correct.
In Nigeria or anywhere in Africa, you have to be a master of all.
And the jack of none, the jack of all trades.
But actually, you have to make it successful.
Yes.
You have to worry about power, you have to worry about first step, second step, third step. You are responsible for everything.
Wow.
So that was first strange. I realized I was working almost 13 hours a day.
13.
13, instead of just 8 hours and you're home. But what I realized is it's very fulfilling because the impact of what you do shows very immediately.
Did you get paid overtime?
No, there's no overtime, but you are fulfilled. You feel like you are touching lives as you're making a living.
Now you are with UBA, and your functionality there, you're heading the e-banking, right?
Correct.
So now, of course, you know the economy in Nigeria and the financial, I mean the Naira, which is your currency,
Correct.
it has dropped quite a bit compared to the dollar. Right. Tell me, what is the role of UBA, or what is the focus, or what are you guys planning to do with your currency?
Okay. I think you bundled 2 questions into one.
Thank you.
So let me unbundle them.
Yes.
In the aspects of digital banking, which you call electronic banking, you call it e-banking.
E-banking, yes.
Just to make it very clear to people, it means electronic banking.
Yes.
Which means doing banking electronic means on your own. It's self-service, pretty much.
Right.
The electronic banking aspect has been very interesting because we don't have legacy problems of having branches all over the place.
Right.
Actually, having electronic banking makes us jump the gun to very digital means of providing service, to banking service to people.
Right.
So if you see in Nigeria, you do transactions real time.
Right.
Unlike in advanced countries that have legacy systems, it's very tough for them to change directions. So that has been very great in Nigeria. So in UBA, we actually see that as means of really driving financial inclusion, to make sure people are financially included without having that much money to open bank account.
All right.
So you can do transactions from your phones, you can do online and everything. Okay.
So hold on, you can actually transfer money without having a bank account?
You can. You do what we call mobile money. So you have a wallet that you created on your phone, which is tied to your phone number.
Okay,
and people can experience mobile commerce, electronic commerce, by buying probably airtime credits, credit for your data, or pay bills for your TV and all that stuff from your phone.
Okay.
People, we do that a lot today. So the United Bank for Africa is taking advantage of that to actually drive financial inclusion across all the 19 countries. So UBA, United Bank for Africa today, operates in 19 countries. And therefore, we use that one to be means of really penetrating the countries very fast financially without building the brick and mortar, which takes time to grow.
Okay.
United Bank for Africa today has about 15 million customers.
Wow.
From just probably about 7 million about 3 years ago.
Okay.
We've done more than double in just 3 years.
Wow.
And that's because of the electronic mix.
Okay.
But you also asked the second question, which is the exchange rate change.
Dr. Yinka, can you hold on that one? We'll be right back with Dr. Yinka on exchange rate in Nigeria.
Let Prophetess Pumela uniquely position you for the mind, body, and soul with this brand new powerful book, The Power of a Prophetic Woman. This powerfully penned book will inspire you to comprehend a woman's role in the prophetic as Pumela lays down a sound understanding of the role of a woman in the amazing but largely misunderstood world of the prophetic. With your best gift today, call and ask for The Power of a Prophetic Woman, and we will rush you a copy. Just pay postage and packaging. And if you call today with any gift of $25 or more, we will include a second book, The Spiritual Warfare Prayer Book. So call now with your best gift today for The Power of a Prophetic Woman, or ask for the twin book package, all when your gift is $25 or more. Call us today.
Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. This is Truth Talks. We're talking with Dr. Yinka Adedeji, and before we went to break, he was talking about the Naira and the exchange rate.
Correct. I was trying to say the exchange rate has really changed dramatically against Naira.
Okay.
Naira has become weaker in the past 13 years that I've been here. It went really bad in 2017, but things have stabilized.
Okay.
The monetary management process had some issue, particularly stabilizing the currency exchange rate because of supply of dollars. But everything has now stabilized. The exchange rate is at about 360 Naira to $1.
It used to be like 450, I think, last year.
It went down to about almost 520.
Really?
Yeah,
$1 to 520 Naira.
But now it's appreciated to about 360.
That's good.
And it's stabilized.
Okay.
I believe it's gonna get better next year.
Okay.
When there's less pressure on dollars, dollar demand from Nigeria, because we spend a lot of dollars buying finished petroleum products.
All right.
We'll start having refineries that are operational, and therefore we believe by end of 2018, Naira will be much appreciated.
Okay. Okay.
I can look at the impact from two sides.
Okay.
From business sides, it makes it a little more difficult to have long-term arrangements of maybe income sharing and stuff with electronic payment partners, because they do not know how much the exchange rate will be in the future.
Of course.
Because you're only allowed to pay contracts in Naira, not in dollars.
So it affects the economy?
Yeah, it affects the economy.
Yes.
It affects them taking contracts, because what they think they're going to get as $100 will have become $50.
Really?
So they are very careful in getting to such partnership, which is very needed in the country.
Of course, yes.
But that is from the business side. Personal side, that's no impact on me.
Of course.
But it has impact on my wife. She likes to go to see the family once a year. Okay. So maybe the ticket price is
high,
affected.
yes.
But most of the things we buy made in Nigeria with Naira.
Right.
So the Naira, the only thing that will affect us is inflation, not exchange rates. So we are not really affected personally that much with the exchange rates impact. But the business, some arrangement becomes a little more difficult, but everybody has come to terms with it. And so we are beginning to see more collaboration, particularly when dollar becomes stable. We've seen the market, in terms of equity market, for example, we've seen foreign inflow, people to come and invest in banking stocks and all that stuff. So the impact is now minimal.
But you know what I found since I came here? I found that your things are expensive here.
Yeah.
What I mean by that, when I go to the store to buy something, immediately I convert it into dollars. How much is this? How much would I be paying for it in Canada? And then I'm like, what? They are cheating you guys. I mean, a pair of shoes, you guys would be selling it, let's say maybe $100. I would pay maybe $30 for the same pair of shoes. I'm like, why? Why?
It depends how you look at it. I hope you're not buying them on sales.
No, I don't even know where they are. Oh, you mean there? Well, of course.
Sales are comparing to full price here.
Wow, yeah.
The fact is, maybe you're buying imported materials. If you're buying made in Nigeria, it's not that expensive.
Okay.
If you look at things that are not goods that are imported, like rents and all that stuff, they're much cheaper than the United States or than in Canada.
Right.
If you're talking about food, food is much cheaper, except if you're buying exotic foods that we have to import. But other than that, the locals don't see it as expensive as what you do. Your taste might be you want to buy what you're used to.
Of course, yes.
Because you're buying that, they're imported from where you're coming from.
Yes.
And therefore they're more expensive.
Right.
But to locals, it's not, things are very cheap in Nigeria. If you look at cost of living here, it's much lower than what it was for me in New York.
Yes.
Trust me, on the average, it's much cheaper than living outside the country. In Nigeria, equity trading is actually very exciting. Okay. The trading ratio, P ratio in Nigeria is only 5 times.
5 times, okay.
But you see it range from 3 to 5 times. But in countries outside Nigeria, some other African countries like in the East African bloc, you're trading up to about 25, 30. In the US, Canada, you trade up to even 40 times. Okay. So which means there's a lot of runway on stocks and equity in Nigeria. And so therefore, it makes it a very good opportunity for people that have the understanding of the stock market that want to invest. Sorry,
when you say 5 times, 30 to 40 years, someone who may not be aware or understand what you mean, can you please elaborate?
Yeah. The people that trade in stock always look at some ratios. Okay. Common ratio to look at is price to earning ratio. In terms of how much are you being sold today, how much are you earning? So look at that ratio, they say how many times ahead are you actually buying the stock? How many years in advance? Okay. Yeah. So in Nigeria is very short. It's only 5 years. Because of the risk, you don't know where things are going to go. Right. But the country has been very stable, politically, economically, and in terms of growth. So therefore, we should be trading in 30 plus, 40 plus. Okay. But we see trading at 5 times. Wow. So which means we have a lot of room to grow. If you look at some of the banking stocks, they're only trading 5 times. 5 years advance only? Yeah. Wow. Only. So therefore, there's an opportunity. By the way, I do a lot of stock trading. Well, I can tell by the knowledge, yes. I wonder how physics relates to trading, because you're a genius, that's why. I play every field I can get into. Yes. By the way, I did trading in the US as well. Of course. And I play in the real estate area. Wow. Real estate area, I had about 40 units I was managing on my own there. So. Really? But the equity trading in Nigeria provides a lot of opportunities. That's why you see a lot of foreign investors actually come to Nigeria to invest. If you look at the earning of many of the banks today, they're very good. I mean, dividend yield over 7% up to 10%. Wow. It's unheard of. If you look at bonds are giving you over 12, 13, 14%. Are you serious? Per year. You don't get that in Canada. No. So because of the opportunity, that is brilliant. I mean, it's a good fertile ground to actually do trading if you are very interested in trading. Wow. And if you look at it, because the exchange rate is very stable, so the trading and the percentage is huge compared to anywhere else you're going to get in the world. Right. So it's a brilliant place, a very fertile place to invest. Yes. In equity or any other type of financial instrument like bonds and stocks, treasury market, stocks. Yes. Right. Wow. It's quite interesting. So you can make a lot of money in Nigeria. You can make a lot of money in Nigeria if you understand the fundamentals. However, I will not say trade on anything, but if you trade on fundamentals in Nigeria, you will do very well. But I also realize that your properties, they're very expensive. You can buy property, inexpensively, and then the churn rate is high. And a lot of people become millionaires overnight here. I don't know what you're saying, but they're not different from what you do in Canada. Okay, in Nigeria, you can say they are expensive. They're not expensive. I can relate to New York. If you go to Manhattan, if you look at the price of real estate compared to Nigeria, Nigeria is peanuts.
Really?
Yes.
But in Victoria Island here, I heard that you can buy a plot of land just empty for $1 million.
How much will you pay for such in New York? You probably pay like 10, 20, 30 million dollars.
For an empty land?
Empty land.
No building in it?
No building, but you can still put all the buildings you want. You have all the heights you can go to. But truly comparing real estate in Lagos, because when you take Victoria Island, Ikoyi, you are comparing them to Manhattan in New York.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So therefore, you have to look at it relatively to where they're positioned. When they're close to financial district, they're very expensive.
Wow.
Residentials are less expensive.
Okay.
So it's all relative. But if you compare country to country, real estate is very cheap in Nigeria.
It's cheap, okay. Dr. Adedeji, what advice would you have for someone that wants to follow your footsteps? I said, hey, I'm interested in the financial sector and I want to do exactly what you're doing or what you're about to do. I mean, there's a lot of young people out there, perhaps, that may be interested in that. What advice would you give them?
That's a very interesting question because, you know, there's no book on how to be successful.
No.
Nobody ever writes that, okay? Don't believe anybody. The fact of the matter is, there are certain elements that can guide you.
Okay.
The first thing is you must have a vision.
Yes.
And the vision can come from admiring somebody else, not necessarily that you write your own steps of what you want to be. You have to know what you want to achieve. You can look at someone, I want to be like someone. And therefore, you take all steps to become that person.
Right.
And or whatever that person stands for. The other thing is, there's no shortcuts. Never believe in any shortcuts. People believe they can become successful through shortcuts or do some fast things. It doesn't happen that way.
Okay.
The way to success is always to find solution to problems that people have. It doesn't mean the solution needs to be ingenious. It doesn't need to be new. I hear people say, oh, I have to do something that nobody else has done. You don't need to, okay? That's innovation. By the way, I didn't tell you I have about 50 patents granted in the United States. But I'm not preaching innovation anymore because I realize you need to be making money from bread and butter to finance innovation.
Right.
So you need to focus on the bread and butter, things that are very simple.
Right.
Copy who has done it before is
and
the easiest way.
It.
And perfect it.
Yes.
Or focus in a small region and perfect for that region. So once you have vision, next thing is you need to be hardworking. Brilliance alone doesn't make you successful.
Okay.
Brilliance doesn't make you successful. In fact, it makes you lazier.
Really?
You think you deserve everything, but you don't get it. You see, like you look at it and say, you have 24 hours in a day. We work about 12 hours in Nigeria, okay?
Okay.
And then you sleep about 6 hours.
Okay.
You have 6 hours left. What makes a difference between you being successful and someone not being successful is what you do with the 6 hours.
Yes.
If you want to be watching shows, reality shows and sleeping, you're not going to become anything.
Okay.
But if you use it to kind of hone in your skills or find other opportunities and things to socialize with to understand how it works, or to work harder on what you're already working on, I think you have a better chance of becoming more successful. Is what you want to become and what you use with that extra 6 hours. That makes a difference.
Thank you. Well, Dr. Yinka Adedeji, it's been a pleasure having you on Truth Talks. I believe that we've learned a lot from you and how the Nigerian economy is working, especially the financial sector. Like I said earlier, you've got wealth of information.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you for watching Truth Talks. We'll be back next week in this station.